Hey, Wimborne World Entertainment, and Spider-Man Brand New Day is currently filming. I believe it's filming in the UK, at least parts of it anyway. I could be wrong about that, but I think it is. But they gave a teaser reveal for the suit, and it was a very, very brief teaser, but people are like, wait, are they going to actually reveal the suit? And they did. The very next day, they revealed the suit in a full video. Now, it's the reveal of the suit, but without the mask on. So we see Tom Holland coming in, which you're going to be seeing the video throughout this. Coming in the suit, we get to see the suit in full, and the first thing that strikes you is it's very much more in the classic form. It does look a bit different than the suit he was wearing at the end of No Way Home. I don't remember the spider logo on the front being as large, but there's also new images that you'll be seeing here and there with the mask on, and in the daytime and stuff, it does look much more closer to the suit he was wearing at the end of No Way Home. It's brighter and stuff like that. Again, I don't remember the spider being that big. It might have been, but either way, this is a better and proper look at that suit, if it's the exact same suit from the end of that movie. But the one thing that does strike you is it does look very much that it's a cross between the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield suit. It's got a slightly raised spider web on it. You know, the lines are raised a bit. The mask looks much more in line with probably the Tobey Maguire one than the Andrew Garfield one. At least the eyes. It's a much better looking suit than the previous suits he's had. I've never liked the fact that he had what was essentially, and we were all calling it, the Iron Boy suit, because it wasn't really a Spider-Man suit. It was Tony Stark tech. So the fact that he's back into a proper suit, Spider-Man suit, I think is much better, and I do really like the looks of this suit. And I'm glad they revealed it quite early. You know, I'm glad they're not kind of hiding this thing forever, where we're going to be waiting to see set photos. And I think it could be the fact that they are thinking to themselves and saying, look, set photos constantly come out at this stage, so we may as well just reveal the suit. Again, they're not revealing it with the mask on. That has now come out in actual set photos and stuff, which is fine. They're very clear as well. You know, it seems that Sony and Marvel don't have much of an issue with these images coming, possibly because they released the actual video revealing the suit, so they might be like, look, it doesn't matter as much this time. But yeah, you can really see that, especially one of these images where Tobey Maguire, do you hear me? Jesus, what's his name? Tom Holland. Forgot his name there. It's saying then you can see the brightness, so it really does look much more like the suit from the end. At least the pants look much more like the suit that he is wearing at the end of No Way Home. So it possibly is the same suit, just with extra tweaks to it. Possibly that the spider web lines on it being raised a small bit. So it's an interesting suit, and I do like the looks of this one. But now we're getting at least a rumor of some of the villains that are going to appear in this movie, and there's a lot of them. Now, we do know the Punisher is in this. We also know, and it has been confirmed, that Mark Ruffalo, boo, is going to be in there as the Hulk. If you watch Nerdrotic, you will have known this for months now, because he flat out said one of his sources, the source who they have in Disney and Marvel, you know, the ones who've told Gary and the likes of Chris Gore that Ironheart was a disaster, and even Marvel were saying, like, this is the worst thing we ever produced. They told them months ago that, yeah, the Hulk and the Punisher will be in this movie. They've said it, and now all this is getting confirmed, so that's proven that that source is correct, you know. But on top of Ruffalo coming back as Hulk, question is, oh yeah, it is meant to be, and this is what their source said as well, it is meant to be Savage Hulk. So not Professor Hulk, Savage Hulk. So that'll be interesting. But between him and The Punisher, they're confirming that Michael Mando is going to be in it as the Scorpion. But apparently that's not all that's going to be in here. So according to Daniel Richmond, so we'll take this with a grain of salt, some of the Spider-Man villains in Brand New Day aren't just going to be Scorpion. They're going to be Tombstone, Tarantula, Boomerang, and Ramrod, who's a half cyborg. So we're being told that all of these characters are going to show up in this movie. So it's sounding weirdly enough like this could be a very stacked movie. There's still rumors doing the rounds that Venom, or at least a version of Venom, will appear in this. I doubt it. That maybe you wouldn't know at this stage, but I highly doubt it. So it's weird here as well, because these set photos look like it would be filmed in New York, but it's saying here shooting has only just started in Glasgow, Scotland. So we're having to wait to see like all these other characters. So it seems to be filming in the UK, as I did say, which is interesting because that means we get to see the budget, because the forms always come out. Oh yeah, that's the other thing with the suit I forgot to mention. I'm seeing it now. The web shooters. They've seemed to make the web shooters bigger. Don't know why, but the web shooters are bigger on the wrist and much more noticeable. So that's an interesting choice, for whatever reason they're doing it. But yeah, I like the looks of this suit. It's going to be interesting to see where this movie goes and what they do with it. Do remember that this is meant to be in between, at least the film is coming out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Story-wise, I don't think we're sure where it's taking place. Does it take place in between those two movies? You would assume it would have to. It would be weird if Doomsday comes out, all these people show up, and then you have a movie come out that takes place before Doomsday. That wouldn't make much sense, but it's going to be interesting to see where this movie goes and what it does. And yeah, we do know there has been issues regarding the story and stuff with Tom Holland, apparently, and Tom Holland has admitted that, yeah, he's been a bit of an asshole to deal with this movie. So it's going to be interesting to see how people react to this movie. But overall, there's your first look at the brand new suit. Again, I do like that suit. And there is the supposed rumor of more villains that are going to be in here. Some interesting choices. But we'll have to see whether or not that's true or not. And of course, confirmation that not just the Punisher is in there, Hulk will be in there, and Scorpion. So with that, do let me know what you think of the suit, and what do you think of this possible idea of these particular villains showing up. Do let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the memberships if you're interested. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.